While the numbers are staggering, both Google and Facebook pledging $1 billion recently to address the housing crisis. Microsoft committed $500 million. The question is it enough? And is it too late? These are big questions. Our investigative team joined with the Mercury News, Reveal, and KQED to investigate that question and to ask exactly who owns the Silicon Valley. This is part of our series on the Bay Area housing crunch. Tonight, senior investigator Stephen Stock breaks down one of the largest economic development projects in the history of San Jose. We're talking about that Google Village. What do you say?
That's exactly right. Downtown near Diridon Station. Experts we talked to for this year-long project say since the recession, Silicon Valley has added just one new housing unit for every 6 new jobs that have located here. Unsustainable is what they say. They say to truly meet our current housing crisis, governments and private industry will have to pony up between $6 to $8 billion just to build enough places for people to live.
Public input.
From the plans,
we just want to create a great place for everyone,
to the protest.
Get up, get down, no Google in our town.
Some neighbors embracing the opportunity to come.
I think it's a great thing.
Others fearing displacement.
The rich get richer, and we get thrown outside.
Everyone agrees Google's plan to build a new downtown campus will radically transform San Jose, but that threatens to leave some current residents out.
I was sad and scared and worried.
People like Ashley Preston, who rents in this apartment building right across the street from Google's new project.
This one's gone. There's only 2 left on the bottom. I've lived here for 10 years and it's my home, and I don't know where I'm gonna go.
Preston and her neighbors have been told by the new owners of the apartment building that when the residents' leases are up, they'll have to move out. The owners recently bought the building in anticipation of Google moving next door.
I don't think it's fair.
Jesus Jimenez has worked here as an apartment maintenance man for 30 years. He helped deliver the eviction notices, including one for himself.
Well, I was sad because I knew that I had to look for another place.
Though local rent control protection ordinances will allow Jesus and Ashley to stay for now, both know it's only a matter of time before all this development around them forces them out.
I don't want to live like a homeless people on the streets.
For years, Google has been buying up vast sections of downtown San Jose for its new campus and pushing up property values and rents all around.
Huge amounts of money flowing right now.
To get an idea of how much of an impact a big tech campus like this can have on the housing market, we turn to a project already completed, the Apple spaceship in Cupertino. The newly built campus employs more than 12,000 workers. We mapped out every house and apartment near the campus and found that if every employee chose to live in Cupertino with their families, Apple workers could fill 1/3 of the city's total housing and nearly 100% of its single-family homes. Why didn't Cupertino city officials do more to ensure more housing when the spaceship was built?
Well, I think when it was built, we were not, when it was entitled and approved, we were not in this housing crisis.
Mayor Stephen Scharf wasn't on the city council back then, but he says when it comes to the new Apple spaceship, 10,000 similar jobs had already historically been located in the same spot on the old Hewlett-Packard complex. He does concede that Cupertino still did not build enough housing for those additional extra 2,000 employees when the Apple spaceship opened.
I would say we can do better than we've done.
Scharf also says developers have not come through and have not built the hundreds of affordable housing units as promised.
We hear a lot of reasons. They're worried about an economic recession coming. They're worried about, they see a softening in the housing market.
Do you think Cupertino City Council needs to do more? Do you need to be more aggressive in pushing developers, getting more housing built here?
We do, and we are. So since we had our new city manager, she's been engaging with some of these developers that own the property to see what we can do to actually get them to start construction.
Representatives from Google say they want to bring a different approach to their San Jose development called Downtown West. It's a project Google says will include up to 20,000 jobs and around 5,000 new housing units, including some new housing for low-income residents.
Why is it their responsibility?
Entrepreneur and downtown San Jose resident Jonathan Martinez supports the new Google project and argues it's not Google or any other tech company's responsibility to provide housing. He says that's local government's job.
They're not a housing company. They're providing jobs, high-paying jobs, to help people buy the housing that is available.
Google takes a different tack, saying the company does have a responsibility to address these issues that its expansion helps create.
But we have concerns around traffic, parking, housing, all things that we're trying to solve for or be part of the solution. We know some of these are more regional issues, but Google has a responsibility to be part of that conversation.
They have made some significant commitments.
Jeffrey Buchanan of Working Partnerships USA likes what he's hearing, but he says he's still skeptical.
I think Google has the opportunity to really be a leader when it comes to developing without displacement, but it's going to take significant additional investments in affordable housing.
Google is very intentional.
San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo vows to hold Google to its promises.
We need to make sure it happens right. We need to ensure we are protecting our residents' interests first, and that's the deal I intend to negotiate.
Can you assure that you will make sure it's done right?
I'm absolutely committed to it.
And we will be following up. As part of this project, we've talked to dozens of different stakeholders, created maps and graphics showing top landowners, and we're participating in a community forum later this week to discuss these issues with you. You can learn more about this entire project. Just go to our special webpage, click on nbcbayarea.com/investigations. There's all kinds of cool things, and our partners have got some stuff posted there too. We've got links to all of it.
It's just stunning when you hear the numbers that you're throwing out in terms of the lack of housing.
And you know, we just heard...
We talk about it all the time, but when you put it out there...
$2.5 billion from Apple today, but still, in the scheme of things, we're only up to 5, and we need to get to 8 million just to build enough affordable housing for people to live.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah,
I think we all watch that story and think about our own housing situation and what we want to do when we're older and where we want to go.
Yep, and in any other community, this would be something you'd welcome, but there's just too many jobs and not enough affordable housing.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Great work.
Thank you, Stephen. If you have a story tip for Stephen Stock or anyone else in our investigative unit, give us a call, 888-996-TIPS, or you can simply visit our website, nbcbayarea.com/investigation.